This is Brandon Bookout for American Policing, completing the summary video of my topic paper. I chose to research the impact of crisis intervention teams for this class's paper. The reason I chose this topic is because mental health is obviously becoming a large topic and a large issue in the United States, and law enforcement officers do not have sufficient training across the nation to properly identify and address these issues, which often results in a unnecessary use of force situation or improper referrals to community resources. And so the objectives of this paper are to not only understand the history of crisis intervention teams, why they were developed, but also understand what research has been done to determine what is the most effective manner in using crisis intervention teams and what can be done in the future to better these teams and better the curriculum to help reduce the number of individuals with mental health issues, divert them from the criminal justice system and to the proper mental health resource that they need. And so the way the paper is going to be organized is it's going to begin with a brief history of crisis intervention teams, where they started, why the team started, and how they have developed across multiple departments across the nation. Also, we're going to talk about the research that has been done regarding crisis intervention teams. What are the common findings in this research? What is doing well? What are the tactics that are showing positive results for these teams? And also what results are showing negative? And also talk about how crisis intervention teams can be better, what further research needs to be completed so we can have a better understanding of the effectiveness in the ways to make crisis intervention teams more effective. It's also going to talk about the need for a specialized police response for mental health, people with mental health issues. This is an important topic because the need is increasing each and every day in the United States, and if officers if their training does not adapt to this increasing need, then more individuals will be placed in the criminal justice system without the proper resources to mental health, which will likely increase their non-compliant behavior and criminal behavior. We'll also talk about the current presence of CIT teams in the United States, see how they are working, how they're developing, and what works best for certain regions. We'll also talk about the results of the research that's available now, and then talk about what can be further researched to determine how to better apply the tactics and trainings of the crisis intervention teams. As far as the results of the paper from the research, my hypothesis was that crisis intervention teams were effective. They did successfully divert individuals with mental health issues from the criminal justice system. And so within the research, the majority of the research shows that crisis intervention teams does have a positive effect on officer training and their ability to divert these individuals from the criminal justice system and properly place them with the necessary mental health resource. An area that I'm going to talk about in the paper is officer perceptions of crisis intervention teams. An overwhelming number of articles and research has stated that officer perception of CITs is positive. They think that it works well and that they are effective and that they do reduce the number of individuals coming into contact with the criminal justice system. One area that there's very little research on is the public perception, and I think this is an area that should be further researched so that we can understand how the public views not only the officers that are CIT certified, but are they seeing a positive effect in their community that has the CIT teams, and do they believe that it has a positive effect, or are there opinions that it has no effect, or it has a negative effect on the crime rate in their communities? Also, we're going to talk about the effectiveness of the variations of CIT curriculum. What I found throughout my research is that the base model that Memphis, Tennessee, their CIT teams created, that is not the model that is utilized across the nation, across many departments. There are variations of the curriculum, the training, etc. And so it's going to talk about what variations exist and talk about what variations appear to work in a more positive manner for their community. And then also it's going to talk about how these curriculums can be further researched to see what is the most effective curriculum, what's the most effective training for these officers to undergo in the crisis intervention team training to best address these issues in their community. And so I hope this paper turns out to be a very informative paper, not only for me, but if it's shared with my classmates. I hope you gain some type of information and it can stick with you, and it gives you a little bit of interest in not only CITs, but also in the mental health issue that we have in our country right now. Thank you.